Ooh. I was pretty much on par with where I needed to be for that. Why is my CPU being consumed by everything currently? OBS, why are you up in 70% right now? Guess that is a good segue into the freaking first topic. Oh, God. Where do we even start on this? I guess we'll start off where we left off last week, where my computer just died. Like, where else is better? Because this problem sprouted from the end of last stream. And it was more than a little terrifying, if I'm to be honest. Because... let me get music going before I freaking get sidetracked. And then I'm just talking into the void. VOD watchers won't give a shit because they freaking can hear Cafe de Toho and so can YouTube, but those on Twitch probably don't want to just hear me. I swear to fucking God, can you decide if you want to be in or out? I let the cat out, she wants in. I let the cat in, she wants out. Lay on the bed. Behave yourself. For fuck's sake. Yeah, of course you went up here. And if I freaking don't let you lay on my arm, you're going to run right to the door immediately and then start scratching at it. You goddamn pest. Either way. Where was I? Alright. So, for those that may not have been here at the exact moment that everything died, or I don't know if either platform that I freaking mentioned it on actually latched on to me saying it in the chat. Because I think YouTube's chat just dies immediately, which is why I don't even bother to start stream back up if I can manage to freaking get back on for YouTube, because YouTube just seems to not work if I freaking have a crash and then try and boot back up. I don't know if it just automatically slots into another or what. But my computer died. The entire thing shut down. And I couldn't get it to turn back on. I checked all the switches, checked to make sure that everything was secured and plugged in, triple checked everything. Nothing would allow my computer to turn back on. Then my power in my house completely went out. it came back, and then when it came back, my computer started back up, and it's been fine since, question mark? I went for like crash logs and everything to see if there was anything that was mentioned there. Not a single thing was wrong according to that. Which is just as troubling. And I'm in a more than a little state of concern as a result now. I am basically looking into expediting the... I'd already wanted to try and see if in 2025 I could get myself finally a full new rig set up, since this one is over 8 years old now. And I looked into, as best I could, I should say, parts. For a... For what I found, trying to balance, you know, decent reviews and performance and price, because I'm not exactly in a state where price is something I can just throw to the wind. I won't know how much I'll be able to find a graphics card for properly until we get out of, like, this season and they restock them, because there's, like, no graphics cards that are just in stock anywhere that's listed. But even without that, it's looking like over $1,100. Which is not exactly, small. And I'm not entirely sure how I want to handle doing this, because I don't know if it'll be able to last until, like, anniversary, which is where I would normally do a proper, like, donathon kind of deal for it. So the best guess I have is putting some of the stuff on Throne, and then also raising money directly for some of the spicier bits. Because some of these things are, like, not too bad. Obviously. But a CPU cooler and a SSD do not a computer make. And yeah, 8 years. Funny what happens when every avenue of money just kind of disappears, aside from your hobbies that happen to make money. Which I suppose is, you know, one of those things that freaking actually ironically wound up discussing in a comment in someone else's video, because Giga recently did a video about her experience with cancer, which is ironically very similar to my mother's. Obviously, Giga got lucky where my mother did not, but like... She had effectively the exact same experience aside from the end result, I suppose. Which is ironic because it's even more ironic because that was the reason why she started focusing on streaming instead of her job, is because she wasn't sure if she was going to wind up making it, and she was like, oh fuck it, I guess that will focus on this, and what happens happens, and it happened to work out. And then I obviously, part of why I freaking focused a bit more on streaming more than what I was before is after I had to leave my job to take care of Mom, I just had a lot of time that I wound up focusing on all this. And then obviously COVID killed my freaking, like, self-employment job. Because I was a physical shop and in the middle of nowhere. So... Oops. But yeah. So that's kind of where we are right now, is, I might adjust some of this parts list to see if I can knock the price down a bit, because with the GPU taken into account, because it's the only one that I could not for the life of me find a single result for. We're at like 1700. That being said, if anyone wants to freaking commission me to get a model and rig, I mean, you guys, you get something, I get, you get something at an affordable price, I get, a sizable chunk toward actually upgrading my rig. It's a win-win. I think that what freaking model and rig is 500 I have it listed on my site. It's 450 for full body. For art and rigging. But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. We're in a bit of a tough spot is where we are. Because even just idling like this, my CPU is currently at 90% running. Near 50 of that is OBS. Which, kind of... is kind of, you know, part of the problem. And obviously, if OBS is the problem, we have, a bit of an issue with, if that... In order to keep things running, OBS being the problem means that obviously to fix part of the problem is not streaming. But when streaming is a large chunk of my active income, we're in a bit of a pickle. I need to work on a few things off stream soon, very soon. I'll probably, like I said, put some of the less pricey things on my throne. I don't think I'll wind up putting the very, expensive things, like the graphics card whenever it shows up, or whenever it becomes available again, or the CPU on there. For two particular reasons. One, because they're very expensive and thus will take a very long time for crowdfunding. And that leads into a two-factor problem of price fluctuations happen a lot, and regardless of how that goes, I kind of wind up eating that. if it's through Throne. If the price goes down, even if it's by like $100, and Throne orders it, they just keep the $100 extra. As far as I can tell. Because the new CPU went down by... It wasn't like $100, but like the new CPU went down by like 20. And the extra 20 that kind of went to it kind of just poof. So I'm assuming that they kept that. Which to a certain degree, I guess, I mean, they've got to do that to make up for people that put on certain things that then go up in price afterward. It's freaking... I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, if Throne doesn't freaking do that kind of trade-off stuff, then... Or then, not than. If they don't do that kind of trade-off stuff, then Throne goes under. And then we're all fucked, so... It's not the best solution, but it's better than freaking... losing access on the whole. I'll see about probably some sort of marathon similar to what I did with Elder Scrolls. I don't know what I'm going to exactly run through. But you know, see if rather than doing like a standardized donathon, get some eyes on the whole thing, and then hopefully get some progress as a result. What are you doing over there? I did wind up doing some of that spring cleaning I mentioned, though. In my private Discord, I freaking cleared up some of the things that were just in my ideas folder because they just existed. Things that were put there because it's just a storage rack, effectively, that didn't belong there. Because I would see something on like freaking Twitter or something, and then chuck it into there, just so that I could freaking bring it to my PC at some point, and then forget about it. I also had to move several things around still in it. I made a new, actually, channel in it, to organize, like, my art refs and whatnot. Or, what is it, art tips? Because I had 3 or so tabs of just sort of reference image kind of deals in it. Like that one where it was the different face angles that I was working on after, that I was mucking about with after. Was that after we finished Heber's newest design? I think it might have been. But after we did that, then I... Do you mind? Let me guess, you went out again, don't you? Can you fucking make up your mind today? Normally you've gone up onto the bed already and freaking decided to lay down. He'll be back in like 5 minutes. Match at that door. Worst part is that even if I leave the door partially open, she's too stupid to realize that she can push it beyond just the initial push open. Anyway. Trying to do some math real quick here. I think it's feasible to get a couple things. Or a thing. With, Hey Kevin, how you doing tonight? And yeah, yapping time, even though... I don't know where this topic actually lies in relation to freaking... I don't know, the past week we've just been kind of doing yapping that's... Kind of the opposite, I guess. I mean, if we go based off of just the freaking current topic, at the end of last stream, my computer completely died. And after a power surge in my entire house, turned back on, but I'm currently trying to freaking... We're in a spicy situation where things are expensive. In order to get a replacement setup that isn't just in itself going to have to be replaced afterward in like a week. Because parts are expensive, and parts when you're running a bunch of stuff in one device are even more expensive. So in New Year's, I'm basically going to be figuring out what I have that is reasonable enough in the intensive departments to try and marathon through in order to try and raise money to work toward replacing it, and then also figuring out if there's a good way for me to advertise like my commissions and whatnot, because those are kind of my freaking really big things. But yeah, it's a little spicy. Because OBS on its own eats up, on average, about 30 to 40% of my CPU. Partially because I multi-stream both to Twitch and YouTube. So obviously taking out the big consumption thing takes away the fact that I'm streaming, which, well, that's just one less thing that's generating money to try and fix this problem. So it's kind of just an Ouroboros of itself. So after stream, I'm going to be putting a few parts on my throne, and then those that aren't on my throne, I'll be doing the math on what I need in order to purchase. Which in itself is going to be a bit spicy. Just because of the numbers we're dealing with at this point. And then I just, in general, if in the new year the GPU that I'm after doesn't get restocked, I have to hunt down another one. That's a reasonable price. But yeah, that's where we're sitting currently. Not exactly pretty. And it has me in a very conflicted state because at the end of the day, it's something for myself. It's not like I'm raising money for my father or raising money for my mother when I was trying to raise money for her medical bills a while back or anything like that. Like, it's a computer for myself. It means that you guys get better content because I can do more. But it's still spending money on myself, and then I don't know, it's one of those things where it just doesn't, my brain doesn't want to freaking work with it. I'll raise freaking $1,000 for a cat to get its leg fixed that's not my own, but freaking raising the same amount of money to upgrade my PC that is my entire freaking job is something that my brain doesn't want to freaking do. I mean, hopefully, question mark? Like I said, it's in a rough spot just due to the numbers involved. And I ain't exactly sitting on, you know, the most extensive empire. But I do have to... I have to get that... Or I have to... Okay, what I have to do is I have to finish my end-of-year project, beeline through commissions. Thankfully, the beginning of the year is relatively uneventful, I guess. I hope. Let's look through my my event calendar. August, October, November, December. Yeah. Missed other eggplant's anniversary. August, July, June. March. October, November, October, September. Yeah, we're looking at a lot of J's, but those are mostly Junes and Julys. Son of a Bitch, it has not even been an hour and you have been in and out 5 times. Up there. Stay. Oh. So yeah. We're working with... I don't have anything major, I don't think, that I'm doing for anniversary this year, so I'm not going to be in crunch time. I might do another outfit, but outfits are easy compared to, you know, the full re-debut that I was doing last year. Yeah, ain't that the truth? New Year freaking... I need to write down some plans and goals and whatnot. Because I would like to do, probably not on New Year's Eve. Unless well, I mean, it would be New Year's Day by the time I did it. Because it would be like 3 a.m. or something. Where I just like freaking talk about goals for the year and resolutions and whatnot. Of which I think mine are going to be relatively simple this year. I mean, most of my, like, for myself kind of goals I have accomplished. I made the 3D model. It works. I don't know, maybe 2025 is the year where I finally actually make those merch designs that I've been talking about for 4 years. It's not been 4 years. It's been like 2 years. I know that at the end of last year I started work on a standee design that I wanted to do. I couldn't, for the life of me, find a reference, so it came out not a way that I wanted it to look. Yeah, I've wanted to do merch for a while, I have this thing where I want to constantly freaking do my own stuff. Also, I don't know who I'd freaking... I mean, I don't have the money to, but I don't know who I'd commission for merch ideas. Because if I was commissioning for merch, I would actually have to pay, I think on average it's a 20% increase. For commercial rights, obviously. I mean, if I really, really wanted to just get some merch out the door, I could freaking... I'm kind of happy with how the most recent art piece came out. Not the 3D model that's over there, but my most recent art piece, the one with that I did for the comfy outfit. I'm kind of happy with that one. And I do make all of my art in a 3x4 for a standard print size. So it's very much feasible. But two things that I've wanted to do are a standee. That way it can go up there with the other standees and I can actually be amongst like a lot of my mutuals and whatnot. And a mouse pad. I think having a full-size freaking desk mat would also be kind of sick. The difficult part with like that in particular is that I have someone who wants to put her fat ass on my desk all the time. And I just wind up, if it was... Well, as you can tell, I have a not insignificantly large amount of white on my body. And, you know... So, having a black cat when all of this is there... It would kind of show. I'd have to freaking, like, lint roller / vacuum up the freaking desk mat, like, once a week to not have my hair turn to charcoal. Yeah, I mean, even if it weren't for her, I'd freaking probably also have some reservations. Like, Sarah got me a Juniper mouse pad, and I still use my old one from 2016. Because I see how it gets with the edges. The edges are black from where the, this one has an actual, like, fabric binding around it, but the tail, or the, wire for the mouse, due to how many of them were rubber, there's just a black, hue around the upper edge of it. And then currently it obviously has cat hair all over it. Because, like I said, if I don't freaking lint roll it once a week, it happens. Like, I lint rolled this, and I think I gave it a full wash the end of November? And it's already covered in cat hair again, and got eyelashes. That's an eyelash right there. But yeah. It's why even though I have the, I mean, hair's hair. Hair gets everywhere. I've got hair that freaking... The hair on my head runs down to my tailbone. So, the amount of hair I have, I inevitably have to freaking worry about that anyway. I know very well how wild hair gets. I freaking vacuum in here at least once a month, and by the end of that, I think that the carpet it's not even carpet, it's rugs, because when my brother was staying in this room, his dog would constantly scrape its stomach along the ground. So there's like 2 giant holes in the carpet in here where he would dig his claws in and try and drag himself, but he was a large lad, so he wound up tearing more of that up than he did freaking actually moving himself. But I use rugs, and they shift like 2 shades near the end, by the end of the cycle before I vacuum up again, just due to my dark hair getting all over it. And then obviously, that thing, the little one, freaking the dog whenever she comes in here. Yeah, he was a big lad. He wasn't like big, but he was fat? Question mark? There's been so many freaking setbacks, though. Like, I don't know, it's one of those things where I freaking see some of the people that I look up to, and how they've got, like, houses or whatnot to themselves. And, like, the progress they've made and whatnot over the years. And I'm just like... In my brain, I'm like, I'd really like to get to that point kind of deal. I don't need a new house. I need to repair my current one. Honestly, though, like, when it comes to this house, I'd probably just, I'd repair my parents' house, bunk with them, and then get this one fully redone at this point. There's so many leaks in the roof at this point. Half the foundation's falling apart. It's a miracle that it's standing at this point, to be honest. Because when it was originally built, 26 years ago, it's about as old as I am. It was half done. Strong house? What do you mean strong house? This thing's freaking... I wouldn't consider this one a strong house. The other house I would consider a stronger house. Most of its problems are due to it being my grandparents' house. My grandfather, due to his smoking habit, has just freaking putrefied the walls. I mean, I guess. It wouldn't have survived this long if it had gotten unlucky with how the tree fell on it. Because the tree that fell on it peeled instead of, you know, just letting go, so it didn't get the full friggin' thing. That's where, like, half the leaks in the roof came from. I think that that's part of why I don't want to, like, even if I were to get to, like, that way up high thing that I mentioned, I don't think that I'd go way out. I'd want to repair my parents' house, because my mom before was, it was one of those big goals that she had. She has, like, notebook upon notebook that are still in, like, half the freaking drawers around the computer that she filled out in the time that she was planning and whatnot. And I suppose that to a certain degree, like, that's part of what all this is about at this point. It's part of why I still freaking will do a stream to celebrate her birthday. Like I did last year, even though everything. It's one of those things that I won't exactly be able to experience. Like, even if I were to make it way up, and like all the people I look up to, is all those videos of them being like, I showed my mom X VTubers, or I got X, Y, or Z, and it's like, it must be nice. But regardless, I just... I do still want to try and fulfill that kind of goal at some point. That work in progress goal that freaking just got screwed up over the years. Just due to everything freaking happening one after the other, freaking... I don't know. I think it'd be nice to wind up being able to have some sort of, like, mental, at least, kind of deal of achieving it, even if I don't get the first-hand feedback that I had kind of been looking forward to a certain degree. Because, like, she was one of my biggest supporters during the whole thing. Like, obviously she was like, oh yeah, try and get a standard job until things, like, take off and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. It didn't wind up working out because everything got pickly. But she was still very supportive over the whole thing. Either way. That's an on the horizon kind of goal rather than in next time on Dragon Ball Z kind of goal. I think that as far as, like, immediate goals, obviously there's the merch that I'd like to be able to do. Given how major our growth was over the past year, I think it'd be cool to reach 1,000 on, like, Twitch or YouTube. Reaching 1,000 on either would be really cool. Reaching 1,000 on both would be fantastic. But I don't know if I'm gonna wind up having my Crow is Ruby's father moment again on YouTube, which is the reason why I freaking went from 100 to 300 in like a month. That was many, many, many moons ago. Yeah, it's a shame I didn't stick with it. I reached a point in Ruby where I just wasn't enjoying the show anymore. Not helped by the fact that the community would weaponize Monty's death anytime that you criticized any bit of the writing or anything. But I think that reaching 1,000 would be really cool. I don't tend to focus on number goals as, like, goals, because even in my best circumstances, I'm not really in control of that. I mean, it depends on what the thing is, as to if people like doing them over time. Like, there's some people that are still doing, like, Warhammer videos that still enjoy doing it, despite, and, like, it's their bread and butter. They didn't really fall out of it or anything. Even though they hate certain aspects of it, normally when you're a fantasy doer, like the end times, everyone fucking hates the end times. Because they're poorly written. But, Halo's in a similar thing, yeah. People don't, like, most of the people that do Halo don't dislike doing Halo content. Because due to it being a video game medium for the most part, and also being varied in its medium, you can still focus on things that go on around the older games, even if the new ones are not great. Or extensive lore in other things, because you can go through the entire timeline. That's a problem that Ruby had, though, is that even with the World of Remnants that they used to do, I don't even think they do them anymore, where they quote-unquote expanded the universe and the world, they didn't really give you much. It's part of why, despite the fact that Tolkien is, well, dead and has been for years, even though most of the new stuff people aren't a fan of, people can still, like, enjoy Tolkien and do Lord of the Rings content, because there's a lot of world building and whatnot without having to freaking cover Rings of Power or the lore flubs of Shadow of War. I enjoyed Shadow of War, though. I'm just saying that from a lore perspective, there is a lot of aspects of it that are, they don't match at all. But yeah, there's a lot to work with when it comes to, like, Halo in that regard. Because it was, what, 16 years of content before we got into stuff like Halo 4 and 343 starting to kind of try and focus on the we're redoing the story every interaction so that none of it matters. I also used to enjoy Assassin's Creed, then we freaking put What's-His-Face into a jar and started kind of breaking the canon so that we could continue the story, and we're putting any of the important lore behind you having to do our 17 hoops of collectathon. I mean, to be fair, like, the collectathon bullshit was as early as, what, Assassin's Creed 2? Or is it Brotherhood? Where they ended it off with him killing What's-Her-Face, and the entire thing was, well, if you want to know why he did that, and why he's not actually just crazy for doing it, you need to go and do all the collectibles and read all the lore. You did that, right? While you were playing through the game? Hope you did your homework. And now we have homework for everything. You want to watch freaking... Name basically any franchise that Disney has a hold of at this point. You want to watch the new movie? I hope you did your 17 hours of homework watching through these 3 series, this short, and this other movie that's tangentially tied to it via one character. You did that, right? I'll be right back, I really have to pee. And then we gotta jump the shark in order to freaking say that the Templars were actually always the Templars, even before the idea of Templars existed. Hey Alwyn, thanks for the resub. How are you doing tonight? Oh, WandaVision? Yeah, freaking... I don't know, if I have the time, I don't have a problem with watching a show or something, but don't make me do goddamn homework to watch a movie. Especially not 7 types of homework. If I'm going for a degree in astrophysics, why in God's green earth do I need biology? Nice. I mean, both of them make fumbles at this point. The problem with Marvel is that freaking it's so big at this point, it's like freaking... They're in a similar department as they are with Star Wars. They're like, oh, we're not actually like the source material from before. Except for in the spots that we are. But even then we're not. Except for when we are. Like, I get asked questions about Star Wars all the time, and I have to preface basically everything I say within the old lore, because the new lore doesn't really have anything that covers half the stuff that used to be covered. And some of the stuff they want to touch because they want the nostalgia factor, like, oh hey, here's this thing that kind of alludes to the Old Republic and Revan, wink. You can go and buy this thing that relates to it. What do you mean? What do you mean we're supposed to be doing an Old Republic thing if we talk about this? No, we don't. By the way, we're cutting funding to the Old Republic remake. You know, it only took them 3 years to do it. At least they were fast about it, unlike EA with McGee. McGee coming into the EA offices once every couple of months. Hey, so am I getting that team for Alice Asylum now? No, check back next month. We can probably pencil you in then. Do that for... fucking what was it? When did Alice Madness Returns come out? 2011? Over a decade? And then they just go, you know, bud, nah, we're not gonna actually let you do Alice Asylum. Get bent. All they had to do was let McGee do his thing. That crazy pirate man. And let the money roll in. But nope. Also, I just realized that you said that you would be headed home. Where are you at? Like, Do you mean home as in living situation away from family, or are you like in a vacation location with family/friends? I mean, freaking the number of... If I had a... If I had... I could probably even say if I only had a nickel for every time that there's been a series or a game that was from a franchise that I love that got shafted, like, right before it was supposed to have something happen, I could probably buy that whole new rig that I wanted. Well, that I need, I guess, is the better operative term. We got Star Wars 1313. We've got freaking Alice. We've got... Yeah. Oh, wow. It happens so goddamn often. There was even something that happened like just earlier this year that was the same thing. I don't think that I was like deep into it, but people were waiting for it for like over 5 years or something, and then it's like, God, after the Fallout movie freaking took off, or Fallout TV series took off, imagine if they said, sorry, Elder Scrolls people, I know you've been waiting for, what was it? Is it 5 years now? Have we reached 5-year point yet? We're past 5 years. June 10th of 2018 is when it was announced. They gave us 30 seconds of freaking panning over a random land mass and freaking revealed the Elder Scrolls 6 title card, and then they freaking haven't said a single fucking thing since. No, correction, they did say one thing. After Starfield came out, they said, okay, now we can finally start work on Elder Scrolls 6. If I was an Elder Scrolls fan, I would be pissed. You wait 7 fucking years to hear anything about a sequel? Get a teaser, wait 3 more fucking years. Get told in an interview that you probably didn't watch because it was Starfield related, okay, now we can finally start work on the game. And then probably freaking still have to wait another freaking 6 more years. How do you stay excited for something for over a decade? Like something that's actively being... Like, something from Bethesda, I suppose. Like, Bethesda's hoping that you still have that 30-second teaser as, like, on repeat on your freaking phone or something in order to freaking keep you hyped for a decade. I don't know of anyone that can stay dedicated to 30 seconds that wasn't even any meat to chew on. Like, my dog gets tired of chewing on a bone after, like, 20 minutes. God forbid a decade. Yes, but GTA 6 gave us something this past year. We got an actual trailer. That's different from... ...2018... ...a 30-second... ...pan over some mountains. Skywind and Skyblivion are going to come out before Elder Scrolls 6 does. I say as I think that both of those are projects that are either on hiatus or completely cancelled after COVID. I'd still believe that either of those come out first, honestly, even if they are outright cancelled. Especially after freaking... They're probably going to shift to Fallout for more stuff, considering the Fallout TV series did so well. Man, I could do Fallout London, except I can't because I'm still in a freaking state of... God damn it. Maybe that's one of the first things I'll do when I get a freaking... I mean... I think that the actual first thing on the docket is finally giving the people what they've been waiting for 2 years? Or I finally do what's it called? Metro Exodus. Maybe if I had maybe the new computer would allow freaking for me to get through Metro Last Light and the playthrough that I was doing, that I was going to do Exodus after, without it crashing every like half hour. I still think that that's because it hates OBS, because that was the same problem that happened with Fallout 3. We couldn't do it because I could play it for like 6 hours, no problem. But the moment that I tried to freaking stream it, OBS, it got camera shy. Normally when the games don't like OBS, they just don't let OBS capture them. And then you just capture your monitor instead. That's easier to deal with than the very few games that crash because they get camera shy. It's very wishy-washy when it comes to Fallout 3 at the very least, it seems. Because I had... Who was it that I was watching at the time? I don't remember who it was. I don't know if they even stream anymore, because I don't remember who they were. But they had a mod that gave all the freaking chems their old names, which was funny. But they were super fucking modded and didn't have a single crash. Lumi, I believe, also said that she didn't have a single crash when she was going through Fallout 3. But she had an active crash counter for Fallout New Vegas because of how often it was happening. Ugh. But, crap. Brain broke. But the person I saw actually going through 3 had, like, Med-X was morphine and all the original chem names from when, like, Fallout 1's beta. Fallout Tactics is still a game that I'll probably never actually finish. Because even with cheats, I just reached a point where I was getting one-shot by enemies. Because someone decided that automatic weapons that roll 10 times that can get a minimum of, I think, 6 damage and maximum of 26 damage. Because they were the 50 caliber machine guns. Someone decided to put that on level 3. You go from bandits with freaking sticks and single-shot rifles immediately into super mutants with I think 2 super mutants killed off my entire freaking squad in a single turn. Why did the Brotherhood of Steel get fucked over anytime they have a game centered around them? Yeah, Fallout Tactics is fucking mean. You can, like, get Deathclaws on your side, but it's not taking into account the kind of game that it is. Because it's still Fallout 1 and 2 at heart. And with, like, all the mechanics. But it's trying to play it like an RTS. So you have a squad against a standard RTS-sized army. On certain maps. And you don't have the ability to, like, level up like you did in the other Fallout games and just beef yourself up until you're having miniguns bounce off of your armor. Even then though, like, machine guns and miniguns are fucking rude in old Fallout. There's been so many times that I have either lost an ally or gotten... God forbid. That time that I was going through, the tanker ship. I don't remember. I think it was just San Francisco is all it's called. And I had Marcus with me? I think that's his name. Yes. And the number of times that he would go and shoot an enemy, and I would just be in the... And it was an insanely large cone. It was like 120 degrees. And if my arm was hanging over one of the edges in order to be in that cone, I'm dead. In power armor. Those games were very fun, but they were fucking mean. I would play through Fallout 1 and 2 again. I enjoyed both Fallout 1 and 2. Fallout 1's companion method is a bit because they kind of... I think they just added companions at the end of everything, so they just have a standard dialogue like they would have for if you were talking to them as a rando. And you have to trade with them in order to get them to have different weapons. I mean, Dark Souls was after an era where you didn't have Blockbuster. There were some games from like the region of 2000s. 1990 to 2000s. Some of them are mean just because Blockbuster existed and, well, sure, someone could rent out, like... Actually, let me just look at through my most recent Steam games and see what I've got here. Oh yeah, someone, like, rents Halo 2 out. Say they do that. From Blockbuster. Or Movie Gallery or whatever. I'm just going to use that as an example. They could theoretically beat the game and return it in only a few days. However, them trying to do that on Legendary, well, they're going to probably need to buy the game. Especially... And then if 343 gets their hands on it, then they're definitely gonna need to buy the fucking thing because Jesus fucking Christ. It took Tebber and me a goddamn year to get through Halo 2! Because 343 fucked up the netcode, so any mission that has vehicles is on a fixed time limit. So there's like 4 different missions in Halo 2 that you have to figure out how to speedrun on Legendary. One of which has the infamous Jackal Alley in it. Halo 2 Lasso will be around at some point. Who knows, maybe if I do decide to make, like, a goal sheet. For me getting funding for the new PC. maybe the lasso will make a reappearance. We were very close to having to do lasso after the cat fix-a-thon. What were our goals for that? Where do I have this at? It's in my Models and Assets folder, I believe. Nostalgia-thon 2024. We were at about the halfway point. We were just shy of the halfway point because we didn't get to Chat Pix Horror Game. But we did get Art Piece of Chat's Choice. I also need to do the tag tier list. Maybe that'll be another thing I do in the new year. Because I want to do a just chatting stream for it. Because it's going to be a long one, because I have a few that I for sure am going to want to discuss. Because some of those are actually ones that I've made videos on in the past. I mean, as I was saying to Desktop and DMs, if the problem keeps persisting, where OBS will crash, or my whole computer will crash, or X, Y, or Z, yapping and art are going to be like the only two things that I'm going to be able to do until I get the new computer. Because if there's anything that takes any significant amount of CPU, I mean, us just sitting here right now, we're currently hovering around 80 CPU being taken up. For instance, Stalker Anomaly wants to take up about 34% on its own. We obviously don't have the space for that. Yeah. So we're in a bit of a pickle in regards to that. Thankfully, I have a lot of art that I need to work on. So it's not like I'm short on content for that. Can't wait for 2025 to be my React Andy arc, because I freaking do just chatting and... I mean, I've got a few things that I wouldn't mind, like, discussing and whatnot over and over again. Yeah, I'd also like to do a VR chat stream, but VR chat takes up about 30% of my CPU. I could probably do it because I wouldn't have, I run on desktop. I wouldn't have, obviously, the model on during it because I'd be using my model. The problem is I have no idea how to set up a lot of stuff for desktop VR chat for you guys to actually, like, view it. But oh well. We'll figure it out. I still need to adjust the hair on the model that is spinning down there, because Folly still wants to 3D print it. I also need to adjust the, I want to model the cube to actually be something, rather than just being the cube. I also kind of want to do rat spin meme. I think it would also be kind of fun. I mean, obviously with that, when it comes to that in particular, down there, I have to make some adjustments if I were to do, like, have that as an option for merch, but I would probably not. Statues are goddamn expensive. I have no idea how much it would cost to freaking do, like, a 3D print. But, like, a good quality statuette is goddamn expensive. I know, because I bought one. Well, I pre-ordered one. I waited for it to go on sale, luckily, so I didn't spend as much. But still. I wish that Monopoly money would freaking be viable for buying shit. I could just get that new PC. I've got plenty of freaking old games of Monopoly sitting around. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, though. Let me move myself forward. I don't trust Twitch to not get freaking upsetty that My hips are out there in the open. Even if I am wearing clothing. It's in... Let me actually... Oh, actually, I do have it already set as the thing here. It was this image. And the feet are prominent here. Also, I'm freaking moving this out. Look, Twitch, it's safe. There's no nudity on it. And that was... Sachi messaged Teber in regards to this art piece. And Teber sent me the freaking... response that Sachi gave. So I plastered it up there as a badge of honor. I'm gonna get it framed. Maybe I'll put it over there next to the Phoenix or something. Yeah, Sachi's not a fan of the fact that I'm just freaking leaving him out here to freaking dry and show off the my accomplishment. But yeah, I felt like it needed to be immortalized when I got that. It's a beautiful piece of art, and it will stay there until something replaces it. Will anything ever replace it? Who knows? In my heart? No, nothing will replace it. The only person that I'll probably wind up getting a similar message about is Sarah about armpits. Because I freaking did the Christmas art piece, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to shade the armpits. Because I completely forgot how armpits worked. And I freaking was watching Miss RGB again. And Lily's image for that actually has some decently rendered, because the artist that did the art for that is more experienced than I am. And it dawned on me that I don't know. I've got a lot of freaking. I'm not gonna say back to basics. There is some back to basics I want to do, but I want to like relearn some shading that I've just forgotten, and where muscle groups are. because a few of my most recent pieces, I feel like I have forgotten where things are supposed to go and how things are supposed to look, and because the arms on the Christmas piece, I'm not the biggest fan of how they turned out. I think everything along the arms, I'm not a huge fan of how it came along for it, to be honest. Because obviously the armpits were not in a way that I wanted them. I mean, I'm always critical of my stuff, and I'm especially in a state of mind currently where I'm even more critical of my stuff. I'm critical of a lot of things right now. Like, part of my spring cleaning was freaking leaving servers and unfriending people. My December spring cleaning. It was mostly removing servers, but like when I say removing people, it's like people that have last online 4 years ago, and I originally met them 4 years ago. But I've left a few servers that just I've left a few servers. I really have to get a refill on my drink because my throat has only recently repaired, and I'd really rather not wind up yapping without any water and screwing it up after it immediately after it has gotten back into a reasonable state, so I'll be right back. Exactly, I already listened to this. What the? Go back away before I forget about you. That's just sitting there awkwardly for however many hours. The number of times that I freaking... I mean, I have no idea when the next time I'll be live is, because until the 3rd of January, I'm 100% gorilla, effectively. But enjoy the whatever you're off to do, honestly. And thanks for stopping by. I forget what I was discussing. Oh, that reminds me, though. Speaking of being proud of, like, stuff you're working on. Freaking, I had someone, try and shame me for not focusing on the money for working on stuff. Because... another artist that I'm in a server with was talking about working on like what platforms to work on, and apparently the person that was listening in got really offended about talking about platforms. And was like, oh well, okay, why do you even care about what platforms you use? It's just social media, blah blah this and blah blah that. And I don't remember like the exact line of freaking point A to point B that we got on. But it ended up with them going along the lines of, well, there's only two options. Either you're going to say that you're doing it for the money, or you're going to give some cringe excuse aside from that. And it's like, is that the only options? Is that your only freaking view on doing stuff? Am I not allowed to do stuff because I enjoy it? Like, just because I would like people to see my works does not mean that it's exclusively for money. I did entertainment for 4 years? Was it 4 years? Yeah. Exclusively for money. I didn't enjoy the inability to freaking stand up for myself, I suppose. Like, even in like entertainment and whatnot, if you're doing it for money, and especially in entertainment, because everyone's so freaking like interwoven to a certain degree, is if you're doing entertainment, you're likely just going to be put into a situation of sit down, shut up, and do what you're told kind of deal. And it's not great. I did that for like 4 years, and I'm not exactly a huge fan of it. I miss some of the people I worked with, but like my boss had such a very weed up his ass, close-minded way of freaking looking at stuff. And I wasn't even like the target of like some of his more abusive tendencies, and they were outright abusive in certain cases. There were people that freaking outright cried because of how he freaking would like yell at them or berate them for simple mistakes. And he'd threaten to like cut their pay just because they made one mistake or something. Like, not just dock their pay. Like, you don't get a paycheck for today because you managed to get tire tracks into the grass while it was raining out. The tire tracks didn't go into the mud. They didn't dig a hole. It's just that the grass got a little bent. But like, you'd pull that kind of shit, and it's like, I don't want to do entertainment specifically for the paycheck anymore. It's nice to freaking like make money off of it, but I don't think that I would have continued with this as long as I have if it was exclusively for the money. Because, I mean, to be honest, it doesn't pay a whole lot. I don't even have a reliable, like, monthly. Like, sometimes I'll get one, like, a few months in a row, but other times it's like 2 months between. Like, pulling the curtain back kind of deal. But, I don't really want to focus on that. And it kind of, I'm going to be honest, it rubbed me a bit the wrong way. Like, the only options are either you're only freaking sharing your stuff because you want money from it, or you have a cringe excuse, quote unquote. And it's like, I kind of feel bad for that kind of like mindset being like the only thing that he can believe. But on the other hand, I don't know, fuck it, whatever. He does that shit all the time. He's not the only one that winds up doing it. There's several people around there that freaking will pull a I'm right, you're wrong, no matter what the actual facts say. And some of them are like actual facts rather than just the opinion of you're cringe if you want to do something because you enjoy it, which is an interesting stance to take on something. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't give a shit because at the end of the day, the dude's just kind of a shitter anyway. Like, some of his interactions have literally just been, I'm going to argue for the sake of arguing, so fuck it. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see. However, the point that I was getting at on top of that is where I don't want to just do stuff for the payment. I mean, at the end of the day, I am an entertainer and a creator where I'm still doing it for myself. I can be the greatest artist in the world, for instance, and if no one sees my works, then It's kind of sad to just not have it happen. I'm not the greatest artist in the world. Don't know if I had to freaking spell that out to anyone that might be listening off on the side. But yeah. I don't know. I think that the only reason that it rubbed me as wrong as it did when he did that, when he had that like stance and openly like tried to freaking pull that shit, is specifically because I dealt with like that 4 years where I was doing the entertainment mostly just for the paycheck. And I don't really want to just be in that kind of situation again. Because quite frankly, having my pay be in the hands of someone who could decide that I'm now someone that has to be freaking singled out because the other person left, which they did wind up eventually leaving. I can't say I blame them. Again, the number of times she cried backstage because of that bullshit was more than it should have been. But who knows? I don't know if I'll ever wind up seeing them because there have been policies that have been changed at the primary venue that I would have seen them at again. And odds are that I'm not going, unless they change it back to the way it was before, probably not going to be going back there anytime soon. Because there's a number limit now for the entire day, the entire week. And like it extends through like the entire freaking length of the air when the area is freaking doing its thing. And obviously I'm not going to be freaking paying a premium just to freaking go there. It's sad that, like, some of my friends, like, an artist friend that's there, I'm probably never going to see in person again, but fuck. I should probably keep today a bit, you know, short and sweet, though. That way I can get stuff put onto the throne, and then also get to work on the New Year's thing, and then commissions for the sake of making progress on trying to get the new computer all set up. Because unless I freaking suddenly have random mysterious benefactor come in and freaking drop the full 16k, or not 16k, 1600. God, if it was 16k, I'd just freaking pack it up. But 1600. Unless I have some mysterious benefactor come in and just drop that in one freaking go, and then be like, here you go, buy yourself that new computer, bud. Well, the parts for it, anyway. I'd freaking build it myself. Because I don't like the premium that gets put onto pre-builds. But yeah, I think that, I'll have to figure out how things are gonna play out. I'll probably set up like a goal ticker somewhere on the screen. And then I guess I'll set up like a sheet or something that has the has goals set for it. Even though we're not going to be doing like a standard donathon or anything. I don't know. I may stream at least one more day before New Year's. By that I mean I might stream later today / tomorrow morning. And then we'll talk about like actual proper resolutions and whatnot. Because I don't know, it's been a while since I've had like multiple streams in a row where I just yap. I haven't had this since before New Model, I think. It might have been before New Model. It was definitely before I got the summer comfy outfit done. Because I know that I freaking was beating myself up that I didn't freaking use the summer comfy outfit for its intended purpose. Of the just chatting, early morning just chatting streams. Because I was doing early morning just chatting streams for something. I know that I wanted to stream. I know that for September I did it for a few of the days of it. I feel like it was something that I was like full on doing events, an event type stream. And I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying freaking streaming this amount of time. Or I'm really enjoying streaming like at this hour and freaking doing like just yapping along. But I don't remember what I was doing at the time. I think it was I was just in crunch time and I freaking had random streams where I'd just do that and yap for a little bit before I got back to work. I'd like start my stream at like 4 AM my time and just yap for 2 hours or something like that. There's part of me that kind of wants to adjust my schedule a bit. And I technically now have my incentive to do so, because the original reason that I was going to change my schedule was or the original point in time I was going to change my schedule was well, when I thought that we were going to not be having anime night on Wednesdays anymore. So I thought that I was going to be shifting days around a lot. So, I don't know. Yeah. I just remember that it was before I did my summer comfy outfit for sure, because the reason I wanted to do the summer comfy outfit was so I had something for those early morning yapping streams. I know that I based it off of Limes' snoozy outfit. Sort of like I based this off of Dia's like standard comfy outfit. But I don't remember why I was yapping so much at that point. It might have just been that I wanted to freaking use my model a lot more at the time. And something might have been happening at the time that I freaking wasn't able to stream at my usual time, so I'd freaking pop in and yap for a bit. Or maybe it was during... Maybe it was during Elder Scrolls? Because I wanted to stream every single day for that. And then I'd freaking wind up not Not getting home from certain things until later in the day, or I'd be distracted for most of the day or something. Or I'd hang with family, and then I'd freaking start up at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something, and then be like, okay, well, I still want to do something, so let's shift over to doing some just chatting for this. Because the idea of the marathon was for me to stream every single fucking day. Oh well, that's neither here nor there. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Well, we don't need to figure it out. That doesn't fucking matter. The actual freaking lineup for it doesn't matter. The point is that I freaking made the comfy outfit for the purposes of streaming. Just chatting, and then we didn't wind up doing that. Because I got to doing a bunch of other shit. Speaking of stuff that I was doing around that point in time, though, of like crunch time and whatnot, Robo Game has gotten an update since, and recently, so I might play some of that. Definitely not anytime soon if it's on stream. Because it's kind of a demanding game, and I kinda don't have the ability to do so. Because it was already chugging along when I was doing it with, you know, before everything started crapping out. And when OBS was not eating up 50% of my CPU on average. Either way. Maybe I'll get rid of some of my reservations on certain things, and we'll work on some shit. I do know that I want to try and, like, upload shorts and whatnot more often in the new year. It's one thing I've kind of been neglecting, and I kind of feel like I should do it more often. I do need to figure out, like, prime times to do that, though. It feels a little inconsistent. I also need to start doing it for, you know, regions that aren't chock full of people that hate VTubers. It turns out that the Halo community is not a big fan of VTubers, despite the fact that some prominent members of it actually enjoy VTubers quite a bit. Very funny. Oh, another thing that I mentioned this on Blue Sky. I think it would be really fun to once a month do like a one-shot. Get a bunch of random VTubers together or something. And get like a random tabletop games one-shot. And maybe like let chat freaking decide on what game system to use. Because I no longer have my outlet for doing random tabletop systems. There are obviously some that are designed that I would not be able to. Like Pendragon is one that I don't think would do well for one-shots. Because it has actual, like, years. There's an entire segment of the game dedicated to winter kingdom management. But I think that like doing a one-shot for Lance or like a single job or something like that, and freaking having a big stompy robot battle would be cool. Or like I don't know, freaking exposing people to one of the 40k systems or something. And have them go on a mission for something. Obviously, I wouldn't use like Rogue Trader because that's designed in a similar way to Pendragon, I guess, where it expects you to do big, long campaigns. And then I'm trying to think if there would be any others in particular that would be like really good or really bad. Like there's obviously the safe bets like D&D or Pathfinder. But I'm already running a D&D game. And where Pathfinder's different, it's also same enough that I probably wouldn't want to just do a one-shot of it. It's like I probably wouldn't do Cypher unless people specifically wanted me to do a Cypher one, because I've done it a dozen times, and it doesn't really work for what I want. It advertises itself as being more story/roleplay focused rather than roll with an LL. But it's a double-edged sword in that regard. It is, but it also is because if you try and do social stuff or anything like where you roll dice, for anything other than combat, you're rolling your intellect. You're rolling your intellect. You're rolling your intellect. You're rolling your intellect. You want to perceive something, roll intellect. You want to build something, roll intellect. You want to talk and convince someone, roll intellect. XYZ. You want to use sleight of hand? Well, you can actually use Dex for that. I think it would also be kind of fun to, like, design either a module or, like, a full-on tabletop system. I was thinking about that a lot after, like, Cypher kind of wasn't as useful for how I run my games. Because, yes, it focuses a lot on the E roleplay. Not to be mistaken with ERP, but roleplay with an E rather than an L. But where that's nice, it also leads to problems where if you don't have a party that is very, very into their character slash has gotten rid of the inhibitions for, like, being their character, you wind up with a problem of, well, now they've got to roll in order to actually still be able to do the cool thing or be convincing, but they're just rolling intellect. So intellect's kind of their, like, powerhouse skill, but fuck, why? What the heck's the point? So I'd probably want to, like, start off with, like, your standard 6 array with attributes. But I'd also want to add a lot of stuff, like, branch off from there. I'd also, the main problem I have is I don't know what dice to use. I don't know if I want to run it a D20 system or a D100 system, or a group of 6s. Because it's also, like, you get this many D6s based off of how much you have, or you get bonus to your D6s based off of factors. There's several ways to do it. I don't know which way I'd want to do it. And God forbid GURPS. GURPS is also one of those ones that'd probably be banned from the one-shot idea, because the one-shot would be character creation. I think that if you've lived with GURPS and freaking, like, figured out all of its ins and outs, it's not as bad. However, fuck GURPS. I still have a moderate grudge against that system. It's not intuitive, it has way too much shit to it, and it's so goddamn specific. Like, yes, okay, cool. Without any other thing being taken into account, congratulations, you won't miss with pistols. Oh, that's a machine pistol. Doesn't count for SMGs, doesn't count for rifles. You only get a +2, by the way, out of a potential +20. So, just dumped, I guess. It's so goddamn stupid. You can do some dumb shit with it, Like, you can become a skateboard lancer. But it's built for people that will read the thing front to back, and then back to front again, and then manipulate the shit out of it. It's built for scatter. Which is very funny when you have someone like Sketter who can freaking show you some dumb shit that can go through with it. However, I'm a human being. Sketter is a Sketter. Fantastically amusing individual. However, built very different. He did make a module for something. Because he knows FFG's 40k systems well enough that he was able to actually like do it in a way that actually went well. And I enjoyed what we went through on those. It's unfortunate that schedules like became issues in that, and then later in Death Watch as well, when we freaking were doing 40k Mogus. But it is what it is. Maybe one day. I'd also have to freaking expand my repertoire of known systems in order to actually know what I'd want to do for, like, the... Jesus Christ, Frosty. A half year? Wow. How are you doing tonight? How was the party? That I think was actually yesterday. How was the other thing that you wound up doing? Where I narrowed despaired into D&D as a result. Wow, I see how it is. Sucking dragon dick instead of playing D&D with us. Actually, I don't even know if you know the context for that joke. Cage, who I've told many stories about in the past. That's a joke at the expense of him. Because he left one of our D&D sessions early, saying that he quote-unquote had to do chores, went into an ERP server that he shared with 2 of the other players of that game, and went to suck dragon dick. Furry dragon dick. Probably still denies it to this day, but 2 of the other 2 people, actually I think Ash was part of the game still as well, so 2 of the others were in the same server as him. Two of us freaking weren't, but Suki and Sui were as well, and they freaking ratted him out. I was pissed, to say the least, because that was the first session we had in like 3 weeks, and he left early to go ERP. Tonight's Yapathon brought to you by the Nasu Computer Fund, apparently. Because that's what all of these are going to, because God knows I need one. What RP stuff were you doing, though, Frosty? Were you manning the storefront? Because I know that's what you were doing the other day. And dealing with people that don't have a license that want to get a gun. Oh, was anyone trying to offer you drugs while you were still in EMS uniform? Was it the same dude that tried to offer you drugs last time you were in EMS uniform? Who still doesn't understand that probably not the best person to go to for that? I don't know if that's much better. But yeah, our discussion for tonight was mostly on the situation with my computer and plans that I have for that. And it drifted to wherever I went to from there at any given time. Yeah, the sleeveys. With the cup in the middle. Let me check what progress we are on. The main thing that you'll notice from the cup is probably the steam on it, honestly. Oh, all of my stuff's breaking? Alright, I'm going to pee real quick. Yep, PC's shitting the bed. That's the reason why we're freaking trying to make progress on getting a new one. Let's go! Speaking of shitting, I'm gonna be pissing. I'll be right back. Oop, not that. What the? Living on the pisser? What do you mean? How am I living on the pisser? Wow, everything really is just breaking right now. But yeah, freaking... I suppose we'll go through, once the ad break's over, we'll go through our recap of all the topics from tonight. If my Discord decides that it wants to eat up all of my CPU, not. OBS is the one that's doing that still. Let's just tell Discord to chill. That way it's one less thing that's freaking eating up CPU. Look at this shit. You can't, because it's not visible right now. There's so much of my CPU being eaten right now. Either way, that being said, as I said earlier, and I've said multiple times, that's the plan for New Year. Probably gonna try and marathon some shit. Mostly catch-up marathon, I guess. That's New Year specifically. I meant like the New Year. I'm not gonna be drinking the entire New Year. Though if I get a new PC and I have a little bit of freaking money afterward to spend, I suppose that I could freaking have a drinking day where I freaking celebrate with all you guys. Because honestly, that PC ain't gonna be happening without you guys. That being said, though, that's the main goal, is getting a new PC set up, because I just plain don't have the freaking space at this point on my CPU to do much of anything else, and especially after the full crash the other day, I don't have faith. We're gonna try and see if we can freaking squeak by as best we can until then. If we have another full crash, it's probably gonna be back to the old CPU. As far as anything else, we'll probably have a stream either later today, tomorrow morning, this being tonight being Monday, tomorrow morning being Tuesday morning, which would be like a 3 a.m. stream, EST, or after like actual New Year. I'll probably not be, I don't know, it depends on how I'm feeling after hanging with family for actual New Year stuff. And by that I mean father and sister, because that's the only family that I freaking interact with half the time anyway. We're gonna do actual resolutions. goals slash resolutions, because some of them are goals, they're not resolutions, because they're not something that I directly have influence over. That's the plan for next stream. Probably sometime in the new year, where I'm doing like my marathon thing in order to try and raise money for the new PC. I'll probably do the tag tier list that I owe you guys, which will be a yapping stream for sure. It'll probably be on a weekend day. But that's kind of the plan, I think. That's everything really covered. Like I said, after stream I'll be putting stuff on my throne to try and help out with the EC stuff. And maybe doing some adjustments on the actual list. Let's see what happens. I don't think that I have any other real things to discuss right now. I think that I might just get to work on the New Year's art piece, which might be, I mean, I've already got kind of this vision in my head as to what I want it to be. It'll be like the explorations finale for this arc, quote unquote, the arc that barely happens, because I got into a weird spot where I was unsure if I should do an arc that didn't really exclusively have friends and whatnot. So I got into a spot where I was feeling weird about the idea of doing art with, you know, other people that I'm not directly friends with or anything. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Three hours isn't too bad for a on a whim kind of deal. Let's see who we've got hit up. Dottie's running. Right, what are you doing? You are offline is what you're doing. That's why I didn't freaking have an actual thumbnail for you. You went offline just as I was noticing you. Dottie. You're watching Mr. Beast stuff. I don't wanna. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're watching some sort of thing. Yeah. What are you doing? You've reached your about 10-minute mark. Yeah, fuck it, we'll raid into this person. Kaiura. They just seem to be doing a little random chill stream. That seems to be where we'll go. Very cute model, very... You're late. What are you weighing me about? Man, I really fucking wish that this would load. How's my CPU looking right now? Oh, yep, that's definitely cooking. Do this. Alright. Maybe a stream tomorrow, may not. Haven't figured that out yet. You can, though, follow the Blue Sky or join the Discord in order to keep update on things, such as when I go live. I don't think I have any other real announcements. You can also go to my throne, where I may have things updated shortly after stream for the parts for the CP or the parts for the new PC that I really fucking need. Thank you all so much for watching, though. Thank you for the follows, rates, all that good jazz, and the event that I don't actually stream tomorrow. Happy New Year. Love y'all. Bye.